Just barely gets it in time. The slipping and sliding on these tiles are so tough. It's helping with players. And that is eruption on that gen that procced. And we do see a DS coming through off her. Now the obsession is going to be taken over by him. And it's just going to be... All right, everyone, welcome back, and we have Cafulio on the Blight versus Downpour survivors. We'll be automatically spotting out where a survivor is as well. Now, the loyalty did take the first set as well, so this is going to be incredibly difficult for them to come back. They can do it and bring this to a tiebreaker. We'll be taking Edwood right there onto Fur. This is incredibly strong tile for Blight to run through. Unfortunately, no pellet right there for Fur to drop. And could not use to get to the God Palette in time. Well done by Cafulio, managing to get that down as fast as possible. Does not want to go through the God Palette. Is going to be looking backward towards this other hook on the backside. And that is the first perk going down during the corrupt intervention after that quick first down. It's going to give people a lot of time to work these gens, but it is another person on person almost immediately. Incredibly difficult to roll back from. We are going to be looking around, see if we spot out any of our killers and any of the other survivors out in this area. Going back towards Shaq, but always keeping an eye just to make sure he can run back and give them the kind of the scare that they need to make sure no one's going to go for an immediate pull onto Fur. Looking around, see if he can spot out anyone towards this main building, but deciding no one's going to immediately move into the rescue. They are opting in for the gen pressure. We'll be finding a gen with a high amount of progress. This is the perfect gen. Oh no, Blast Mine coming through, and we'll just barely have pop in time. And with that yellow bar, we do see the second perk, or the third perk of Brutal Strength. And her immediately taking that BT hit, thankfully. Will be able to make his way around, but will he be getting down here almost immediately? Might be able to make it towards this pallet. We do see the immediate rush as well, and we'll be able to get the pallets done in time for extending his chase greatly. And now we do see another survivor down on the bottom floor, and we are watching, seeing if we could catch up to Fur. We do want this tunnel out, but unfortunately slipping inside. Whoa, just barely gets it in time. The slipping and sliding on these tiles are so tough. It's something we've seen from even the most experienced Blight players. And that is eruption on that gen that procced, and we do see a DS coming through off her. Now the obsession is going to be taken over by him, and it's just going to be DH. I thought that was about to hit, but excellent done by Cafulio, just immediately bulldozing past, making him think that he's going to smack him there, but just going past enough to ensure that he uses DH and then bounce back the hit. But that is a second gen popping, and we do know the full perk. We do know Eruption, Brutal, Pop, and Corrupt. I'm sure the survivors are calling that out to all their teammates, but now that is for on second hook stage. Looking around to see if he could spot out anyone currently, but unfortunately he's unable to. Looking around, seeing if there's anyone coming in for this rescue, but they did do a good job of taking this chase to the opposite side of the map where the killer was not. We do see a missed skill check on this. Immediately going to be applying eruption value to this gen and using Brutal to immediately kick it as well, saving him a precious few seconds. We do hear survivor up there. No, that was just a survivor back on hook, but another gen popping, making 3 gens pop so far. We do have another survivor coming in for the hit. It is Phaser immediately taking the M1, going for the rescue. We'll get the pull, but this will end up being a trade. No, gonna take the BT hit on the Fur. I'm not quite sure I would have done. Just drop. Oh. And unfortunately not able to hit that, and it will be Fur. Oh, what an excellent play coming from Cafulio, using the Blighted Rat to speed through and speed past Phaser to get the tunnel out onto Fur. I thought it was more of a misplay on his part, but that was a fantastic choice. And the fact that they did not drop track caused them so much time difference to be unable to do anything. And they will be looking towards this gen, trying to get his way around. Does spot out, I believe that was Shoal. Yes, it was Shoal indeed. trying to run around, trying to get Shoal out of this area. This gen does have a lot of progress, but another blast mine and a reset coming through onto Phaser. That blast mine is not going to give him enough time, but unfortunately pop will still be applied with eruption as well. 33% of its progress, and decided to run back into the killer for half a second. But will be dropping that firecracker. Will decide to drop chase here. Does find another scratch marks of another survivor. Fortunately, is unable to spot exactly where they are. Yes, that is the Phaser over here. Trying to make his way back to that same gen. Unfortunately, not able to get to it in time. We'll be looking around to see if they can spot out what gens are left. We do have that gen in the corner, main, and one towards the back of... Okay, we do see where all 4 gens are, and this could be a really good gen spread for him. Phaser does take it, but he runs the wrong way. No, he's trying to take it towards the backside of this area. He does not want to give that away. And that is a balanced landing as well. We'll be able to make this pallet. We'll just be eating it up immediately. Looking, seeing if we spot out anyone. Looking around, unfortunately, just playing a couple of mind games here and there, but those check spots are getting help. We'll be immediately rushing past and just going to be hitting trees, on wood. By getting the down. Eruption proccing on that far off gen. You're going to do an immediate pick onto Phaser. This is an opportunity for another pain res. We do know there's one closer to main. And that was the first pain res. Oh, sorry. No pain res. I do apologize. We'll be trying to hook him here onto the same one now, so he can cut down on the distance he has to take to get to each gen. And we do see this gen has a high amount of progress. A perfect gen to pop, but he's good. You know what they say, 2 blast mines makes you kick shy. We'll be kicking this finally. This is a gen that is going to get maximum pop value. We do see the rescue coming through as well. And just holding it through. Phaser taking the M2 instead. Unfortunately, he is interested in trying to get Shoal out of here. He does know Blastman is a pesky perk, and let's try and get rid of it as soon as possible. Shoal is running the same direction as Phaser. That could be an incredibly bad misplay. This could end up with 2 survivors down, with leaving Jaeger to be the only one left. Unfortunately, doesn't lose sight. That could have been a lucky break action going on. Chooses not to pursue. Looking around, see if he can spot anyone. Wants to get back to this gen, unfortunately just hitting everything in the way. And this gen does still have a lot of progress on it, but we'll just be kicking it, applying eruption, not even going to look around in this area. Doesn't think anyone's ever going to bother around there. Knows the callouts weren't going to happen, but is going to look around, check on Shaq gen, and does spot us some scratch marks coming over here, and it could be an opponent. This should be Jaeger in this area. Crouch teching, doing a fantastic job. Finally dropping out. We do some resets coming through onto Shoal and Phaser as well. Jaeger taking his chase all the way around, and we are waiting currently for those recharges to come back. We'll be taking the vault, but unfortunately that was a medium vault, allowing Cafulio to take that hit. Gonna be eating up another pallet and looking to see what he can spot. He does have the ORMOND to play and a pallet to play around, but he just has to bait it and does manage to successfully bait it. But he is walking. Could be curious, trying to get back his yes indeed. Was trying to get back that, and we do hear Nancy in the distance screaming next to it, and there's her aura. Hey, we see you. And the aura reading is so strong. Coming through. Oh! I thought that was gonna for sure be a hit with the aura. Unfortunately, Shoal just built differently. Made sure to dodge out, and an excellent flare. Gonna immediately pick up, but is Phaser in this area? No, unfortunately, no pallet stun save. They're gonna see an immediate hook, but we know 2 gens have a high amount of progress. He's immediately rushing back to check on this other gen over here. He wants to make sure he gets it out of the way. We do see scratch marks over here, but unfortunately, that's all 5 rushes used to get back in this area. He's gonna be kicking this with pop. Unfortunately, it's just gonna continue regressing back down. Looking to see, he does spot out Shoal over there in that area to be able to get that hit onto it. Has a pallet to play around. Unfortunately, unable to do any bump. Was trying to hit that bump off the side, but now it has to be Phaser going into the unhook. Oh no, it's a deli unhook. With deli being up for these survivors, we'll be able to make their way, and they do not have to worry about like getting down. He is going to be immediately going back to try and put pop and eruption onto that gen. Looking to see if he could spot out anyone coming through or going back to this gen, trying to scare them off. And it did look to be Shoal in this area. Oh no. And this could be going downhill really quickly. It's going to get an immediate pickup on the Shoal, looking around to see if he can spot anyone, and is going to be taking him towards this back hook of main. Now you could try to be taking him closer to make sure you're using less rushes and ensuring you get hits in. This is going to be looking around, see if you can spot on anyone. However, that Gen is still regressing. Unfortunately, no one in this area. Oh, I lied. Apparently, his game sense did know that Phaser was around here. Was able to get everything. And will be taking Phaser down. Unfortunately, Shoal unable to take the hit. But now that's 10 seconds of BT. And, ooh. That vault coming in just in time. Allowed him to get the pick right there and immediately hook, but they need to get another gen fight. 4K1 is the expected result versus Blight. They cannot be sacrificing a gen. They are working the two furthest gens currently, but with Blight's ability to get around map, it's just too easy, and that gen's fully regressed. An immediate pull, assumingly by Shoal, but I wonder where has Jaeger been? Has he been working that Shack gen this entire time? And if Cafulio thinks the same, we're going to be checking on it almost immediately. And we do hear a lot of progress onto this gen. Unfortunately, able to just barely misses. This is a 99 gen. And just unfortunately, whoops, pop on that, regressing it by 30% of its current progress. Incredibly difficult. And we do see a hit coming through onto Shoal. Someone who could afford to give away the hit and won't be making his way back into main, but they just keep happening. And it's so many structure that's just getting negated. By Pop goes the Weasel and Eruption together. Chases versus Blight are never expected to be long, but there is a certain point where like you cannot be taking chases into these active generators. He is going to constantly check them. And it's just so strong for him to be able to check on any of these gens. His speed to get bounced between gens is so incredible. Especially with Blighted Rat, keep building up those speeds with each consecutive rush. Or sorry, Blighted Crow. Giving him that ability. And then the additional speed from Blighted Rat. Looking around, see if we can spot anyone. We do have a reset coming through from Phaser and Jaeger. But we do also see Jaeger in the distance. No, that was Phaser, I believe, actually. Just reapplying Eruption, kicking that gen as fast as possible, coming back. Wanting to make this a 2v1 as soon as possible. Looking around, seeing who he can spot. Unfortunately, just going to confirm a second, but we do see Phaser coming through for the hit. Gonna have to do a trade here. And that will be the trade happening, giving up even more of that gen's progression over to the killer. If Jaeger's still back on that Kill Shack gen, that could be a lot of progress given away, as that did not get erupted just now. I think you just need to stick that gen in that scenario. You take the hit, you stick that gen. I think that was a misplay coming out from Jaeger. Unless that gen was... It looked like it was 99.9, but unless it was 95. It's so incredibly close, but you just can't give it up. Oh, a little bit of stuck. Getting stuck right there, but he needs to be going for this. Unfortunately, does eat that pallet, but he might need to leave this almost immediately. Go back to that. Does know Jaeger's in this area. He needs to prevent this gen from popping. We do hear him over here. Unfortunately, it's just all this progress is just going to constantly be reset. There's so much that you're unable to do versus a Blight when it's a 2v1. We'll take a stun right there, and unfortunately now Shoal is going to be caught out. We'll be looking around, seeing who we can spot. If he can get those down immediately and then immediately go back for Jaeger. Jaeger needs to start going for that gen. Another Eruption proc, but unfortunately no ore being given. Could be trying to play around for Shack. However, it could be incredibly difficult. Looking around, did we see a crow in the distance? Is he around back here, or is he looking around to the other side? And so does Cafulio think the same thing. Trying to double check. He thinks he might have spotted him in this back area. And yes, we do see some movement over here. We do hear Jaeger just going down. A truly phenomenal play coming out of Loyalty's survivors. But Cafulio from Downpour is a strong Blight, and getting a 4K2 is very effective. We'll be looking and immediately finding where Shoal is, crawling the hook to give him less time, trying to move on to the next match as soon as possible. Honestly, I kind of agree, I'm not gonna lie, guys. And now the celebration rushes all onto the same spot. This is a 4K2, but if they are able to pull out a tie, it will not be going to tiebreaker. It will be an overall win for loyalty. So currently the win con right now is for loyalty to get that 4K2. But if they end up getting 4K3, that will be Downpour's victory. We will be back shortly. Don't worry, guys. The arcade isn't going anywhere quite yet.